Hello everyone and welcome to Investing Angles. Today we are talking primarily about silver, and we will analyze silver from multiple perspectives from Elliott Waves, and we'll do live analysis together. Then we'll have a look at the candles, and in the end of our session we'll have a look at what else is happening around the globe. We'll have a look at a few major indices. Well, let's get started. But before I start, I'd like to say special thank you for all of you who joined our channel recently. We've seen a huge spike of interest, and our big thank you to everyone who is trusting us and who recently subscribed. Now let's begin. This is silver. This is where we left it 2 days ago, and what we are seeing here, that after potentially forming a top and a very strong impulse down here, silver formed a corrective wave, and most likely it's either a flag or somewhat similar structure. What we are seeing here is an ABC correction here, fairly clean, and now it silver completed exactly in the area that we expected. So now we can remove these targets and clean up a little bit the chart. So this is potentially either wave 2 or wave B. And all these directional moves remained here on the chart. So we are removing a few elements. Now we are seeing a clear flag. So, and the most interesting move today is what is happening is an impulse down. So this is what silver is forming right now. If we measure it, it looks like it's nice and clean, and almost ideally shaped from the Fibonacci perspective. And now I think we can say that this is potentially wave 1 of a bigger impulse, because if we consider the bigger structure, let me move it like here. So for a bigger structure, there's something that we discussed a couple of days ago. We were looking for either this perspective for potentially wave C, or a bigger perspective, potentially wave 3. And in our case, what we are seeing here, this impulse is fairly small, and for wave C, it wouldn't fit very nicely if it moves here, if it moves upwards here. So I would say we were looking for a bigger structure, potentially an ABC 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that's the perspective for now, and now we can do an estimate. So if this is still wave C, I would be looking for this particular targets. So this approximately this one, in this range. If this is wave C, wave 3, pardon, I would be looking for these targets. And now what is happening right now, looks like silver is forming a corrective wave upward, and we know about wave 2. It's difficult to forecast. Indeed, they can be very sharp and short, or it can extend longer. So I would say then in the next couple of hours we might see a very strong move down, if this is indeed wave 3 being developed here. And now we can try to do some preliminary estimates. So let's say this, assuming this wave moves and about 50% of the length of the initial wave down, then we would be looking for something like this, and this would be wave 3 somewhere here, wave 4. Well, it would depend on how wave 2 develops. Wave 4 usually dependent on that, and wave 5 somewhere here. So that's the preliminary, very preliminary targets for this particular move. I would say that we need to be very careful with this one and be prepared for a significant move down. Well, let's see how it develops today. So we might see a very surprising move, very surprising to some, I would say. And if we look at the candles perspective, this is what we are seeing right now. So for 2 days, silver tried to negate this big hammer, which is also bearish engulfing, and so today's candle could be critical. If it moves strongly down and does an engulfing, it would be a confirmation of reversal technically. For 2-day frame, it is right now neutral. After deliberation pattern, the next candle is crucial. In 5 hours, we'll see how it closes. And speaking about an SLV, we had a strong bearish candle on Friday. It was an failed attempt on Tuesday to negate it, and we will see how it forms so far. So far, it's a neutral bearish with the chances of move lower. If silver closes below 29.12 today, it will be a bearish reversal, a strong one. Well, that's about silver. We are monitoring it closely, and now let's have a look around the globe, what is developing there. So surprisingly, we have Shanghai and Hang Seng indices so far bullish. Let's see whether they would be able to advance higher. So Nifty, we discussed Nifty yesterday and in the previous sessions, so nothing really happening here. So it's right now it's neutral, but considering very strong technical moves and the closure on the multiple frames, bigger frames, this index is bearish. TSX right now is somewhat neutral, trying to negate this bearish engulfing it received on Friday, but I would say it's very vulnerable right now. If we look at Australia, Australia index right now, it's falling, and the bearish engulfing and attempt to negate it and another move down and win. So if we look at this formation and the TSX formation, Toronto Stock Exchange, we are seeing a lot of similarities. I'm talking about this particular pattern and this particular pattern. So lots of similarities. If we see today a red candle below the body of the previous day, so tomorrow it's gonna be have a chance to be a very good surprise, like this last red candle for ASX. And another interesting formation here for FTSE is tower top here, and potentially it's double top. So the chances for moving lower, if it closes like this today, that would be a serious bearish statement. Similarly for Nikkei, it formed falling 3 methods after bearish engulfing, very high chances for moving lower. And I would say this 200 days moving average is the next, this is the last support. If it's broken tomorrow, well, it could open a big path downward. And the German index, DAX, is forming a fairly clean tower top. If it forms like this, if it closes like this, I would expect a bigger reversal, potentially much bigger. Well, that's the perspective for the indices around the globe. Let's have a look at what is happening right now with the US indices. So far, S&P 500 is somewhat neutral. And we discussed yesterday's futures that it closed right on the high of Friday's candle, and it could be considered as bearish depending on today's closure. So far, Nasdaq is somewhat neutral. Dow Jones and Russell are bearish. If they continue like this, it could be a serious move, and it's not surprising for Dow Jones because these are futures. Yesterday it formed a strong bearish engulfing on the 2-day frame, so expectations to move lower are on the table. And today Russell might form also a bearish formation. It would be inside down, and I'd like to emphasize this recent bearish cross 50 over 100 days moving average. So that wouldn't be a surprise if it continues to go down from here. Well, there are still 5 hours to go. Quite a few things can happen, but we are watching it closely. And just to return to our silver perspective, so be aware, silver can start and move down any moment right now once it develops this corrective wave 2. I would say this is 15-hour chart. I think we have 2-3 hours before a bigger move can start. All right, so that's been all for silver and around the globe discussion. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Check our website investingangles.com. Follow us on Twitter, Telegram, Reddit, and obviously on YouTube. Thanks a lot for your support and happy trading, everyone.